All right, today we have the Room 101 Ichiban Maduro Toro. With it, we have Gautier VS Cognac.
Thanks for tuning into Cigars, Liquor, and More as we join our buddies Bill
Howdy.
and our other brother Daryl
Smoke up, Johnny.
having fun in 2021. Broadcasting from our studio speakeasy as they talk about cigars, liquor, and anything else that comes to mind.
Okay, well, this Room 101, you know, we're fans of Room 101. So
are.
I definitely wanted to try the Ichiban Maduro. I like Maduros. It's got a nice dark wrapper, roughly Maduro colored. This is a medium-bodied cigar, although I've had more than one of these, and I put it on a medium to mild. I think it's a pretty on the mild side, but it's a U.S. Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. You know how much I like that. It has a non-stated binder, which uncommon, and a Dominican Republic and Honduran filler with an MSRP of $7. So this is, I guess, his affordable line of cigars. With it, we have this Gautier VS Cognac. It is a 2 to 4 year age stated. It's bottled at 80 proof and is right around $20. Now, the website is non-existent for any age statement or anything like that. So I went into cognac-expert.com and I got their tasting note.
Nice.
All right. So on the nose, it is fresh fruity aroma with a lively, spicy flavors enhanced by a hint of vanilla. On the palate, lots of finesse. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Full and warming with flavors of chocolate, orange, vanilla, and Christmas cake spices, followed by a long, balanced finish. Now, I also looked up, you know, what has it won? What awards have it had?
Actually, you kind of get, a citrusy flavor on the nose. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. Throw it in. Now, I went to look up its awards, and I didn't see any golds. I want to see some golds. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I want to see some golds. Now, cognac-expert.com, I feel, may have been being kind because they are about cognacs. Because I found other reviews which were not so glowing. And it didn't get a gold. So I'm a little concerned. Now, I have tried it because I wanted to know how fruity it was. And it is fruity, but I didn't try to pair it with a super mild cigar. I thought this one was pretty mild, though, honestly. So I thought this might be pretty good. Let's see how that goes. Because I haven't had that. I haven't had it with this cigar yet. Now, the cigar. Oh, what'd you get on the cold draw there, Bill?
Oh, you did have. You have had this. You'd have had the cognac, though.
Yeah, I've had the cognac. Well, no, I've had both, just not together.
Yeah.
What'd you get on the cold draw there, Bill?
Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of fire.
Which is the thing, there's not a lot in the cold draw. Like I said, it's pretty mild. I just get really, really mild flavors.
Which means I'm not sad I missed the cold draw.
Yeah, it's not a really strong cold draw, but it's kind of good for a medium to mild cigar because it means it's not stinging your lips and you know, coating your mouth even before you get into it. Let me light this thing up. Actually, I'm gonna nose it
because of the shape of the bottle. Nice, deep.
Oh yeah,
nice deep thunk.
It is an interesting shaped bottle. It's a good looking bottle.
Yeah,
it looks like a genie would pop out of it.
It does.
Yeah. So on the nose, I definitely get a fruity. It is very fruity on the nose. But you know, I'm not really picking up that vanilla so much on the nose. It's fruity. It's very fruity, and you know, you expect that from a cognac, right?
Yeah, fruity. Yeah, but I kind of get a citrus off the nose.
I think fruity and citrus run in the same race.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay. In the same race.
So I think the full and warming description means it comes off a little hot. It's not real smooth. It comes off a little hot, don't you think?
Little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. What was the proof on this?
It's 80.
80?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So,
80 proof.
For 80, it's a little hot. And I think that's the $20 bottle price right there. This is not their,
Not their top end.
yeah. This is not the XO and the VSOP and however many acronyms you throw at it. It's the VS. So I mean, if you want a cognac, nice fruity, it's an entry level that's pretty inexpensive, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
I'm glad you put this down as the topic of today.
Oh.
I haven't read anything on this yet.
Oh, yeah, I
So-
liked it. This is very geeky.
So
this is
I'm
very.
glad
we're
you
back
did.
we're back to science. We're back to science today for our discussion. I'll tell you what. There's definitely. I'm not getting chocolate, but orange and vanilla. I'm not sure what cake spices are. I assume they are something in the area of nutmeg.
Nutmeg and cocoa.
But no, I like it. So let me light this guy up. All right, you want to?
Hey, through my life, I've never really been that much of a cognac fan. But
I'm picking up more just because I want to be.
my tastes have changed some over the years because the ones that we have done, I've enjoyed. So maybe I'm more refined now.
Well, no, maybe
To be
you
fair.
just like spirits made out of fruits too.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
We're gonna have some more brandies on here too. The
Now, there are
the
quite a few brandies
Texas-
that I've really liked.
Texas Giant or Gulf Coast Distilleries made a brandy. Now, right now, it's only available in their tasting room, and we haven't.
We haven't been able to get
We
down there.
We have not been able to get to Houston. We canceled 2 of them in 2020, but we'll go this year for shores.
Excellente.
All right.
Well, go ahead, man. Do it.
You
Go
want,
do it.
okay, so this is from PopSci, POPSCI.com.
Great name.
Now, I had heard about the discovery, or maybe the confirmation of a discovery made in the 90s, to be fair. International team of scientists reported something that is not as it should be with one of our subatomic particles.
Breaks the laws of physics.
Well, the known laws of physics. We just have to make new laws,
Yep.
which is, I think, the real point here is that we don't quite understand it yet. There's a
Well,
bunch of gaps, and we're using what works for now.
Those are some of the article headlines that I've seen, and I've not gone into the articles. I'm really interested, but there were other things that I was doing when I came across those, and I just haven't made it back to that. So I'm really glad you put this in as the topic for today.
Cool. So, if this becomes the norm, where we keep finding more problems with how we expect our particles to behave, then we're going to have to make a new theorem. And I think that's, at the end of the article, that's kind of what most physicists are hoping for. I think they're hoping to get away from the standard model and be allowed to pioneer new things without people poking fun at them and laughing and saying they're fools.
Well, and I think the work in quantum science has gone a long ways towards that because
Right.
it's not understood.
Well, as we keep doing quantum things, we have to keep reinventing how to make it work because the models don't.
Mhm.
So, anyway. So, the problem child today is the muon. So, this is and I love the way they phrased
I
it,
love that.
the heavier, shadier cousin of the electron. I like that one. So, the muons, they only last for a few millionths of a second before they decay and break down, but you can generate them constantly by smashing other particles together, and they do this in CERN's Large Hadron Collider. So one of the problems was that we shut it down. So they actually kind of discovered this in the 90s, but weren't able to confirm it. So now they've officially come out and said, hey, we've confirmed it. Let me continue. So now, particle physicists at the Fermi Lab in suburban Chicago have found evidence that muons are more strongly magnetic than is predicted by the standard model. That might seem like a minor detail, but it means that muons are violating basic laws of particle physics as dictated by the standard model. So it basically means our standard model needs revamping.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't the only place they found problems in the standard model. This is just another one.
Yep.
Right? So the standard model has been the beating heart of physics, particle physics, for about a half a century. It lays the groundwork for scientists to understand and link what they think are the universe's most fundamental particles, the muon being one of them, electron, proton, now the Higgs boson, and there's 13 others like quarks, leptons, et cetera, et cetera. There's 13 of them.
Quarks, qubits.
There's technically, I think technically there's even more than that because each one can have like 6 different states. I don't remember the exact details. Google it because I don't remember exact everything. But the standard model has held up pretty well, right, for 50 years. But these little chinks in the armor are, you know, what makes us want to revamp it because you can't have that. Especially as we do more and more things like we talked about.
Well, and our technology improves.
Absolutely.
So much.
Right. Our technology to work it improves. Although I think I'll discuss a little later, may not be in here, about how we have some physical limitations that we're just physically limited by. Our technology is way far from...
Too primitive.
Yeah, to really get to the core of it. But they've been using it because they don't really have anything else to use, right? So...
Yeah, we haven't reverse engineered the alien technology for that yet.
Mm-hmm. So... Ooh, I just got super fruit. So with this cigar, it's making this even fruitier. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute.
Nice.
So for decades, a lot of these unanswered questions of why do some particles masses don't match the predicted models? Why doesn't the muon have the right magnetic moment? Why doesn't it tell us how gravity works? Why does, we can't even account for dark matter or dark gravity, and there's huge gaps. And I like this because it is the process of science. You come up with a theory and you use that theory until you disprove that theory, and then you disprove the theory, and then you work on a new theory. And so it is an evolution of sorts.
You work on it until you prove it or you disprove it.
Well, you end up having to disprove it, right? Because it's really hard to prove something is absolute until you disprove it.
Yes.
And then you make a new theory. I love it.
Yeah, but you can't prove a negative.
Right.
So there are some limitations in that regard. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
So I've followed a lot of these things. I love the Higgs boson. There's some great places to look up Higgs boson. I like the comedy ones that add a little humor to it. And I think I want to name a couple, but I'm not sure if I'm right, so I'm going to leave it. But look up, Higgs boson. That was really big a couple years ago, and it is super cool. It's just way bigger.
A couple of years ago. It's got to be a decade now.
Is it really?
I think
just so old.
Time goes by, man.
But, the boson is just so big, it begged the question, how come we haven't seen it? How can we not see something this big? And the way it passes through matter, as big as it is, or mass, whatever. It was just really cool to read about, really cool but it's another one of those ones that violates our knowledge base and forces us to make a new theory. And the standard model is either going to break or basically broken. And
they know it's broken already,
mm-hmm.
But they don't have enough evidence of other things to change it.
Right. So now some particle physicists believe, or at least hope, that this muon mismatch could prove the deadly blow to the standard model. And I think that has a lot to do with you can't get a grant on, it's harder to get a grant on something that flies in the face of convention.
Mm-hmm.
If we say, hey, this is broken, we need tons and tons and tons of money to investigate how to make it right, then they'll get that money, right? So I think that's probably where this comes from. Now, what happened is we found this at the Brookhaven National Lab.
And potential, right? Because if we can determine a theory that helps bind quantum mechanics, quantum physics,
universal field theory,
then
right? That's the goal, right?
That's the goal. I don't think it's anyway. But if you can find something to do that, then you can make leaps and bounds in technology above what we've already done. So I think that's where, and that's where the money comes in, right? Because if you can say, "Oh, we're right on the cusp.
Yeah,
we just need a little more to push us over," and you wind up getting pushed over and creating this whole new field or a whole new theory, then I think.
Well, we need to link them all together because they're related, right? So we got your basics, and you go, well, how does magnetism fit in with quantum? How does?
But it has to be a stair step. One has to build on the other.
Right.
Now there are going to be some that kind of branch off, and okay, what you learned down here doesn't apply here, but it morphed into this.
Right.
And we don't have. We know it's not the same. We know it's not linked directly, but it's kind of the same. But these things don't apply. We just don't know how they don't apply. Now they, what changed, right? So we gotta get to that point.
Right, and I think the hardest one to link is gravity.
Then we'll
we
have
just don't
transporters.
understand gravity at all.
Transporters.
And when you try to do small and large and magnetism and
I like
all
the
these
time theory
fields,
of gravity.
Right, in a way, I think one of the things that you have to end up disproving is time, and that's going to be one of the hardest things to get out of people's minds is that time is real and it's not. It's dependent.
Time's very fluid.
Right, it's dependent, and that's just hard for our little monkey brains to wrap our heads around, right? So, I mean, we're working on it. It's really cool. And in fact, there was a theory I heard recently. I think they call it something like the 1-inch theory, which is when we do find the formula, we find the magic link, it's going to be about 1 inch long. Sort of like E equals MC squared. Boom, done. One simple equation, right? They're expecting something like that, which makes it all the more like mentally frustrating, right? Because you go, oh my God, there's some simple thing, and if I could just put the right four things together.
Well, okay. Yeah, but
we just haven't discovered it
You
yet.
have to know, you have to understand that the simple equation doesn't encompass everything. It's the general rule.
Right.
But not everything is going to fit into that exactly because there are other influences and other equations that come into play. But yeah, you can boil it down. You have to be able to boil it down into something fairly simple.
Let's take a moment
Because if you can't, then your theory is broken.
Yeah. I think for me, it's kind of an Occam's razor thing. It's going to be simple, right? Just like explanations of things, probably pretty simple. Sometimes it's really hard to find it. But when you do find it, you go, wow, that was really simple. and maybe you kick yourself for going, oh, I can't believe I didn't find that earlier. But not always that simple.
So you were directing us towards talking about the cigar liquor.
Yeah.
So
we're
the
3/4 or an inch in.
Yeah, the Room 101. I'm getting a lot of wood, some ash. I think it's I put it kind of in the medium to bold category.
Really?
Yeah.
You think it's bolder than medium?
Just because of the coating that I get in the mouth.
Oh. Okay.
So, because with me, most of my fullness comes with the mouthfeel.
Right.
And I'm getting a coating on it, so that's why I'm putting it just above a medium.
I'm not getting so much of that coating, but what's nice is it is very flavorful. I mean, I don't want to say it's mild. It didn't have much on the cold draw, so it's not flavorful. It's very flavorful. I really like it. In fact, I think it's like I said, I've had several of these. I think the cognac is adding to it. I think it's making it much better.
I liked it. I liked the cognac with it.
Mm-hmm. And in fact,
that was a very good choice.
Yeah. In fact, the flavor of the cognac has been made better too. I've got much stronger fruit notes out of it than it did before. And it's just really nice. Now they describe it as orange, but I almost want to describe it as like a dried orange. Now we don't eat a lot of dried oranges like orange chips or anything, but it's got that. It's hard to describe because we don't eat dried oranges, but it's there's a candy it reminds me of, and I can't think of the candy. What are those little lemon wedges? You know what I'm talking about?
Gumdrops?
No, they look like not lemon. Sorry, what are those little orange wedges? They look like tiny little orange wedges, and they're gummy.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've never had any.
Oh, it reminds me of that.
They just never appealed to me.
Well, I like that. But the cigar,
it's like circus peanuts.
Oh no, circus peanuts don't appeal to anybody.
I've never. It's just. I've had circus peanuts, maybe 3 in my life. I just don't.
That's how long it took me to divorce them.
Just don't. I don't know.
So the retrohale has got a little bit of flavor in it. It makes it a little spicy, but it's not a super pepper. I really like it. The flavor is for me, it's mostly woody with a little hint of leather, and honestly, it's more powerful with the cognac than it was on its own. It's much better with the cognac.
When you're burning a fire in the fire pit, that kind of ashy type flavor. Yeah, I'm getting something like that off of this.
Okay,
I get the woody, but I also get kind of an ashy flavor from it. It's kind of interesting. I don't know that I've gotten that off of a cigar before.
I know what you mean, but that ashy feeling comes briefly, and then for me, it morphs into a clove. I get it.
You like clove.
I do like clove. I'm apparently really good at detecting it.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, this is really nice. I think this is going to be one of my good pairings. This is going to be one of my primo pairings.
Better write that down.
Yeah, because I've had both, and putting these two together makes both of them better, and that's my definition of a primo pairing. Very nice. It actually almost smooths out the cognac a little bit too. Cognac is coming off smoother than when I first touched it, so that's nice. Of course, I think it's a little bit better warm too.
The cognac? Aren't they supposed to be?
Well, let's revisit the cigar at the halfway mark. So we did, find this at the Brookhaven National Lab, but funding died in the 90s. And until the magnet was moved to Fermi Labs in 2010, we didn't fire it back up and continue the work. And that's when they found the Muon's magnetic dipole moment was incorrect to the standard model's prediction. And I think that's just awesome.
Most of that, all that funding came from the Cold War. When the wall fell, funding goes away.
Probably.
Probably. That's what happened. So yeah, but I think it's really awesome that we've delved back into it.
That makes sense. Brookhaven.
Brookhaven National Laboratory.
Yeah. No. Brookhaven. Well, I've mentioned Brookhaven before. We did a lot of waste pool testing at the environmental testing company that I first got my job at. Everything there was horrid. Horrid.
Finish up the article.
So not all scientists think that this will revolutionize particle physics, but many, including those at Fermi, believe that this discrepancy, will result in some unknown force interacting with the muons, and if so, then it will herald in a newfound, physics and physics model. And even if the standard model isn't completely obsoleted, the muon finding could be, a launching ground for new discoveries that help explain how the universe works, and probably increase funding to investigate the other problems with the standard model.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this helps in quantum physics.
So we talked about
really
that
do,
very
because-
recently with the high speed data transfer.
Yeah.
And if you don't really understand what you're doing,
Yeah, we know we can do it.
right?
We don't know why.
But once you know why, you can do it even better.
Yes.
And so I think this research is probably worth funding because,
Yeah, I do.
firstly, I'm a scientist, and I think almost all research is worth funding. But
Including finding out that flies take off backwards.
oh, that was awesome! When I found that, when I saw that video that flies first jump backwards and up and backwards before they fly away, they were my bitch.
That's right. That's
Then,
right.
and the method is to clap your hands slightly behind the fly and above it. So don't try to smack it horizontally, because what happens is the air that you push down helps push them
Push
out
them
of the
away.
way.
Yep.
So if you clap your hands vertically in their takeoff path, bam, dead fly.
Dead fly.
Oh, the best learning ever. High-speed photography, greatest thing ever.
All right, man. Why don't you wrap this up for us?
You mean go to break?
Oh, we're going to break. We haven't been to
We're
break
going
yet.
to break.
What's wrong with me?
I don't know.
Enjoy the any time of the day cigar. Drunk Chicken cigars are nub-alicious, so good you'll smoke it to a nub. You can get 10% off your order at drunkchickencigars.com by using the promo code CLM2020.
So how come a prima donna isn't, somebody that came before Madonna?
Prima donna.
Oh, okay. So
There's a difference between a prima donna and a pre-Madonna.
exactly. So
It's the hyphen. It's the hyphen. Hyphen says pause.
So, if you want to follow us, please take your favorite streaming service and hit subscribe. Go to cigarsliquormore.com and register to win our weekly drawing, or just register to get news, which we've not sent any out yet. You can find us on Instagram and our website. Do so. We invite input, suggestions, and comments.
Yeah. If you don't tell us something you want or don't want, then we will continue to do whatever the hell it is we're doing.
Well, people like the tech talk, though. So there you
Yeah.
go. That's good, because
And
that's
so do I.
what we know.
So do I. I really like the tech.
Well, midway through this cigar, I am very much enjoying the nice even clove setting that's set in. It's little cloves, other baking spices I can't name.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with wooden baking spices. I'll go with that.
The cognac, it gets fruitier. I think fruit is what you're looking for in a cognac. Just why would you look for something else in there?
Otherwise, you just go with whiskey.
Yeah, and this is bringing out the fruitiness a little bit more. Very nice. And since it was one of the more cost-effective, I'm going to go with cognacs, making it better is excellent.
Oh yeah. Well, anytime you can improve the liquor, like you said, that's a sheer bonus.
It is.
Sheer
It
bonus.
is. That's what makes a difference. And for me, it definitely has. It's not as hot as it used to be. It's fruitier. Very nice.
It wasn't all that hot to begin with.
Yeah, but I expect
A little
cognacs
bit-
to be
little
really
bit-
smooth.
A little bit more than what the proof says, but not massively.
No, not massively, but my expectation on cognacs, or cognacs I like, are that they are preeminently smooth, right?
Yeah, and I would dare say a majority of the cognacs that we've had have been.
Yeah. So I dipped down
But aside from that,
low on this one. I wanted to see what a $20 cognac would do.
yeah, why not?
But the cigar has proven its friend.
It has. Kudos Room 101.
Oh, yeah. I follow him on It's Boofy Baby. That's his Instagram name. He's interesting guy. He's a character much like Drew is from Drew Estates.
I really kind of want to know why it's called Room 101, but I'm
sure we could just find it if we looked for it.
I know. But I want to know, but I kind of don't because I'm afraid it's not going to be that
It's not going to live
awesome
up to
of a
your
story.
expectation.
Yeah.
It's going to be, well, I was staying at a hotel in room 101 when somebody brought me this blend.
Okay, that I would go with that, but it's
Motel.
yeah. I was traveling and for 3 nights in a row at 3 different hotels. I was in room 101.
Right. Yeah.
That would be like, oh. Those are some of the things about origin stories, right?
I'm gonna look it up.
You want to know, but then sometimes you're disappointed. Usually there's a really good story there, but sometimes you're disappointed.
I'm gonna look it up.
And for something called Room 101,
Yep.
It could go either way,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, I want to know, but I don't want to be disappointed.
If I'm gonna guess, I'd say it was a hotel room in Portugal.
Because there's only one room on the bottom floor, and it's 101.
Now, for those who don't know, there's a cigar band he makes from Room 101 called Breakfast in Portugal, and it's one of my favorites. I like it a lot.
Yes, it's a very good cigar.
Man, I like the way these two are going together.
It's like you're relaxing or something.
Well, I really like the way these two have gone together. They've really made each other better, and the Ichiban is not a difficult cigar to find. It's not like we're picking out some opus that's in limited box run, and this isn't a cognac that is on some sort of
I love reading and watching about those things. The hard to find or the super rare.
But I don't want to suit up and go. No.
Well, it's also mostly I want to know about the things I can get.
Not just for us, but for people who are listening. I mean, I don't want to talk about a lot of stuff people can't get because they can't get it. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for telling me about what I can't have.
Yeah.
So speaking of which,
hey, I too can get a Rolex for $25 on the street from a vendor.
Yeah. No, but speaking of which, we're waiting for that. I still haven't seen the.
Maybe that's a Rolo-X.
Yeah, probably. That sounds tastier. I still haven't seen the insane hen out on the market yet.
I know. What? No. Homicidal hen.
Homicidal hen out on the market yet. I want to pick up some. Don't get me wrong. We already had it.
Yeah.
So that's nice, but I want more.
Well, no. I thought I thought he had some at Underground.
Yeah, briefly.
Well, that's because they sold out.
Yeah,
but he had some, and they
more.
were banded. Excuse me. Wow. They were banded and boxed and everything. I mean, it's production run.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's the what's the egg one? What's the egg one?
That was truly limited run just for the event.
Yeah, I know. That's yeah. If for those that don't know, we're talking about Drunk Chicken cigars.
Yeah, I think it was extraordinary. Oh shoot, she told me, and we only had a couple, so I'm like, We can't review it because I'm not going to,
I took a picture of it somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway. I always look forward to things coming out from Drunk Chicken. I like when they're blenders.
What have you got from Half Wheel over there?
Okay. All right. Our favorite cigar news generally comes from Half Wheel. Okay. So let's hear some good news.
Yes, we want good news.
Half Wheel reports April 21st, which reminds me we need to still interview Patrick. It's been a long time.
I know.
I want to talk to him. I want to complete the set. We've talked to 2 of the 3. I want to complete the set. Okay. Moving on. April 21st at Half Wheel. Florida bill seeking beach smoking ban fails to advance.
Yay!
Mm-hmm. A pair of bills seeking to allow cities and counties to restrict smoking within the boundaries of their public beaches and parks failed to advance in the Florida legislature, as Tuesday was the last day for regularly scheduled committee meetings, and neither advanced out of those hearings. The Senate version of the bill, SB 334, was sponsored by Senator Joe Gruters, Republican in Sarasota, whom I hate now, who has
Because you
been,
can't pronounce his name.
Because he was trying to advance the bill.
Oh, he advanced the bill. Yes.
Had been an
Yeah,
outspoken.
what's wrong with you, man? You're in Florida, for Christ's
Had been an
sakes.
outspoken advocate for letting cities and counties implement restrictions when it came to smoking on their beaches. He has sponsored several bills in recent years that all sought to rewrite Florida state law, which currently says that only the state can ban smoking at beaches. While the bills wouldn't have automatically implemented any bans, it would have allowed cities and counties to have potentially that discussion and pass that. So basically, it was the beginning of the end, right? Yeah. Boo.
Yeah, boo him. Boo.
The bill had been on the State Rules Committee meeting agenda for Tuesday, but was postponed. The House version, HB 239, has been sitting in the House Environment, Agriculture, and Flooding Subcommittee since March. That bill was sponsored by another rep I don't like, Rep. Thad Altman, and they sought to prohibit smoking in all state parks as well. So, thank God that was been,
So let's see. You're outside.
Mm-hmm. God forbid.
In a most likely a not calm environment.
No,
Meaning there's
I've not
a breeze.
been on a beach that's been idle.
Exactly. And what?
Yeah. Now,
I understand no glass on beaches.
totally. People break glass. Glass hurts feet.
But if I go to Florida, I want to sit on a beach and have a stogie.
And I do.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm polite. I get away from people, and my brother and I will go have a cigar.
Well, I don't want to be that close to those people anyway.
No, but we'll go off because everybody's in the first 30 feet of the beach, right? You go up to where the wind breaks and other breaks are, other fencing. Nobody's there. Nobody's sitting there. You go sit there. You have your cigar. You enjoy yourself. Actually, it's kind of nice because generally the wind is lesser if you get off the beach front.
But you should, I mean, in all things, you should be somewhat respectful of others.
Absolutely. And we are. And, 9 times out of 10, the person that comes up to us and we see them approaching and we wonder, okay, they're walking up to me, not a stairwell or, anything. They're walking to me. They come and they ask me what I'm smoking because it smells good. And I'm like, okay, here we go.
I have been approached. Do you mind? No, not at all is my reply.
And the thing is it's the Karens.
Yep.
And they don't have any real horse in the race. They
Nope.
they don't care except to
enforce their will
enforce their will on others, and that's unfortunate. But
Yep, and that's where I get snarky.
yeah, I've not really had anybody complain at a beach. I've had people complain
Yeah.
other areas slightly, and I'm like, I'm doing everything I can to be out of your way. You didn't need to come over here. Whatever you think you're smelling is probably not as bad as the diesel you smell from the road. So calm down. But, I'm like, okay, we'll move. And we move 10 feet or whatever. And they go away. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd move.
And in every case, we're outside.
We're outside. Deal with it.
Anyway.
Suck it
I
up,
thought-
buttercup.
I thought news that is good might be welcomed for once. It's just so
yeah.
many articles that are just so negative on, all the smoking bans. And I'm like, you know what?
Stop legislating morality.
We've done that for 200 years?
Yep.
So probably longer.
As a species, much longer.
Mm-hmm.
As a form of government, we have been less so.
Yeah, I mean, that
It doesn't
is
seem like it.
one nice thing. I think America does have fewer regulatory. It doesn't feel like it always, but I think it has fewer regulatory rules than, say, Europe.
But we are relatively young.
They'll
as a
get
nation.
there.
They'll get there.
Yeah, this is a good combo. I'm gonna have to say, if you pick up Ichiban Maduro, you should pick up this cognac. This is very surprising to me. Like I said, I'd had both, and I thought they might go well together. It'd go much better together than I
love
thought.
the
low tone. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, boy.
TPE 21. Vegas, baby.
Yeah, you've never been.
Nope.
I can't believe you've never been to Vegas.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I've not been there dozens of times, but I've been there a handful of times.
Really had no... I've had much more of a desire to go to the Caribbean.
I'd much rather go to a beach. No, I get that. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're both sand. It's just not the sand that I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I've enjoyed my time in Vegas. But a lot of that has been the people I'm with, not the surroundings I've,
Yeah, and that's a
gone
large part of why you go places. I don't know. People make the difference.
Well, I mean, of course, that's why this Wuhan lockdown has been so terrible. We miss our people.
Yeah, we miss our people.
Mm.
Socialization.
I wonder, I'm hoping. So the rules that they're setting out for TPE are you can't just smoke anywhere. They're going to have a smoking area. And you can take your mask off when you smoke, but when you circulate among the booths, you have to have a mask. I'm wondering if by the time it happens, I know it's only a month away, that they may be able to drop it because there may be a certain minimum number of people who are vaccinated.
I don't think
and they change it.
I don't think they're going to, because this is the first event since COVID.
Okay.
This is the first event in Vegas at the convention center.
Is it really going to be the
since
first
COVID.
one since the lockdown rules?
Yeah.
So maybe not.
So
maybe I'm being optimistic.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. But if you're not in the smoking areas, then you have to wear a mask. But they've got some pretty generous smoking areas, so I think it's going to be okay.
That actually might be a good thing for me. Because otherwise, I'd be smoking like the entire time we're walking around and interviewing people. And that's probably not good for me. Like, my palate would be blown out by day one.
And I think it also, it also kind of forces us to talk about not just a specific cigar, but talk about a wider range of cigars. Because if we're that, and we're not going to spend an hour at one booth, right? So we're not going to start with their cigar, end with their cigar
Right.
at their booth.
Right.
So I think overall I think it's gonna leverage pretty well for us.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem for interviews and stuff like that.
And I think it's
Might be a good thing for me.
I think it's, to me, it comes across as a little rude to, walk over to the Perdomo booth smoking an Espinosa.
Right. No, I'll give you that. No, totally true.
Or, whatever the case may be. But, yeah, it's, I don't know. I think it'll be okay. I think it's going to be
What I think
awesome.
is really rude is that Vegas is trying to ban smoking.
Yeah.
That sounds insane.
That's very rude, especially for Vegas.
For Vegas.
What happens in Vegas? Oh, except for smoking.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're going to have prohibition again.
Yeah. What, are you going to stop drinking in Vegas next? We probably should ban gambling too.
Yeah.
It seems so weird for Vegas.
Vegas should be the let loose area.
It should be. It should be clothing optional. Vegas should be one giant clothing optional beach.
It should be hedonism as a city.
It should be. That's what it feels like. See, you've never been there.
No.
It feels like that. I have seen people doing all sorts of things in Vegas. It seems weird smoking should not be one of them when people let slide all the things I've seen.
I'll find out.
You'll find out.
Of course, also we're traveling, while people are still... not everything is back up the way it used to be. I don't know.
It probably
about
won't be at
Vegas,
100% even in May.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
We are renting a vehicle, and we're going to do a day trip to the Grand Canyon and to Hoover Dam.
Right, so you're not going to be in Vegas proper the whole time.
Not the whole time.
You're not going to be on the Strip, I should say.
Because I've never been at the Hoover Dam. I've never been at the Grand Canyon. So I want to do those things.
So I've been to Vegas, I don't know, several times.
You been to Hoover Dam?
Nope.
You been to Grand Canyon?
Nope. So there is a national park about 45 minutes out of Vegas. I do not remember the name of it. Some friends of ours got married there, which is why I went. And we had a party van that brought us from the Strip to that. We did the wedding. We party vanned there and back. And I don't remember the name of the place. There's actually quite a few things I don't remember about that trip.
Probably a good thing.
But that park was super cool. Basically, it was a desert park that had all those interesting structures that they're like donuts in the middle of the desert kind of looking things. Hey, there's a rock that looks like a donut, and it's 3 stories tall. How did you get a donut rock? It was like one of those parks. I don't remember the name of it, but it was super cool. We had a great time, and part of that was probably due to the 45-minute trip there and the 45-minute trip back in the party van. But that's the only non-strip thing.
We know I love vans that you can drink in.
Yeah. That's the only non-strip thing that I've done in Vegas. I've not been to Hoover Dam.
Really? You stripped in Vegas?
In a sense. But it
you didn't.
It's something I should do.
I sent you a text. So I have in the studio garage. I have a really old stereo. It's a console stereo.
Yes, I see that.
And I plugged it in today. Kind of cleaned up a little bit of it, and I took a picture of
it works.
Yeah, it works. I put in a sticker, our logo sticker, and a cigar, and I set it down. I took a picture and I sent it to Daryl. Daryl responds, "What is that?" And I had a Rocky Patel decade in the sticker.
Yeah, I think I know what the decade is. Thanks.
So I replied, "Rocky Patel decade."
Oh my God.
And I was waiting for the "fuck you" response.
Yeah, I was close. I was like, I'm gonna let slide. Good one. You got me. I guess it's a radio. I'll find out when I get there.
I told Joya comes up, and I showed her the picture, and she goes, "Nice." And I said, "Yeah, I sent it to Daryl," and Daryl said, "What's that?" And I told her what my reply was. It took her a moment. She's like, ah.
Good one. No, that's the kind of thing you want to stick to me, because that's the kind of thing I do to you. Right? I could take a picture of the Sears Tower with me standing in front of it, and you go, what is that? And I'd go, dude, that's me. Don't you recognize me? So I get it. I would have done the same thing. I get you. Mm-hmm. Well, where are you? I'm in the final third.
Maybe one time when we record, I take our theme music and I put it on a low volume on it.
Oh, there you go. And just keep it playing in loop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that wouldn't disturb anybody.
Low volume.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, we're in the final third. What do you think?
Really, it's kind of transitioned for me. All I'm really getting out of it now is the woody flavor. The spices that I got before, I'm not getting a whole lot of those right now.
Yeah, that is subsiding. I agree with you.
It kind of died on me a little bit. I'm still enjoying the woody flavor, but the little ting of ash that I got, I'm not getting anymore. The spices, I'm not really getting anymore. It still goes really well with the cognac.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that it's kind of funny you say that, because I was going to say that the spices I got through almost all of it, I mean, it's just this final third that is disappearing. Mm-hmm. I think those spices, what was bringing out the fruitiness in the cognac, because I'm not getting that heavy fruitiness out of the cognac that I was earlier. So it has subsided. I'm getting very mild clove now. It's not so pronounced. And whatever those baking spices are, you can almost say nutmeg almost always, right? Probably nutmeg and cinnamon. Probably. I had a friend of mine.
I need to eventually smell some nutmeg.
Oh, I cannot believe you have not smelled nutmeg. How unbelievable. Okay. So
it's not that unbelievable.
It is. No, it really is.
No, it's not.
Well, you know what it is? It's that you don't drink
eggnog
at Christmas.
I don't drink eggnog.
Yeah, that's why.
And I don't like Nutella.
Oh.
And I don't.
Well, technically, that's hazelnut.
Oh, hazelnut. See, I don't eat it. I don't know. It's none of that. No.
But if you want to know what nutmeg is, go get some eggnog, and it will smack you in the face with nutmeg. It is nutmeg. Nutmeg. So the extra fruitiness has kind of died out a little bit, which is a bummer, and all the baking spices are subsiding a little bit, and is becoming mostly woody and leathery. I still love it though.
Leathery.
It's great.
I'm not really getting any leather.
Oh, you're not getting the tannins?
No, not
I'm
really.
getting that. Yeah,
not really.
In fact, that's pronounced for this.
I've been searching for the cloves. That's what I've been searching for.
Well, sorry.
I'm not getting it. I'm not.
Oh, I love clove.
But Philistine palate.
Hey, both of us. Neither of us professionals. We're both engineers, right? Yeah. Or technically, I guess
I'm an IT guy now.
Right. You're a data scientist, and I'm probably more of a data scientist than an engineer now.
Actually, I'm not the data scientist I used to be.
Okay.
I was in my previous role. I was.
Okay.
Because I diced and sliced data all the time.
That's what you do, isn't it?
No, not as much anymore. I don't analyze data anymore.
Okay.
But
you don't analyze it. You organize it for analysis.
I organize it, yes.
Yeah, but your reports are kind of analyses, aren't they?
Well, yes, because that's how I'm geared. And so when somebody asks for something, I will, because I can tie all these things together, I go and I tie them together. And I also, if I have time, I put in a bill analysis. I call it a bill analysis.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And
take home. 9
times out of 10, they keep it.
So you still got mad skills.
I had a boss, and when he first took over that group, he would ask me for something, and I'd do it, and I'd put in the bill analysis, and I'd send everything. And this one time he asked me for something, and all I did was give him exactly what he asked for because I didn't have
He's
the
like,
time.
"Where's the bill analysis?"
And, yeah, he came to my office and he said, "Where's the analysis?" Didn't have time. It's like, oh, now I got to do it.
Well, UPod, you know, you overpromise and underpromise and overdeliver,
There you
then
go.
eventually they start expecting the overdelivery.
Well, that is true. All right, man, close us out. This
Dude,
time.
I'm loving this. This was really great, and I love the Room 101s. So it's no surprise that it went
Great
so
combo.
well.
Yeah, great combo.
Totally. I'm all in on these guys.
I'm coming around to cognacs. I'm pleasantly surprised.
Nice.
The Room 101, great. Ichiban.
I feel better.
Heck yeah.